I actually have a question. But where did you go to college, and how did you decide to go to the college that you attended?
So my grandparents are immigrants on both sides, from Russia and Hungary. My parents weren't really in a place to support me. I actually grew up on the Upper East Side, but my grandparents had bought their house before this Upper East Side was so nice. So I couldn't actually really afford to go to college. So my choices were a little bit limited, so I went to the State University of New York. And that's a school where you can go and you can take out federal loans, and they actually get forgiven now if you go into public service. So I went to SUNY Albany. And while I was there, I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to major in. I was undeclared until my junior year, which is pretty long. So I actually ended up taking, you need 120 credits to graduate. So I took 180 credits over 3 years and ended up with enough credits to have as many majors as I wanted. But they didn't allow that. You could only have one major, one minor, or a double major, and so I changed the school's rules. I just said, okay, where does it say it? And I changed the rules so I could have 4 majors. And so they let me do that. And so then I did that, and then I still hadn't won the lottery, and I wanted to be a lawyer, so I went to SUNY Buffalo Law School. So even if you don't think you can afford it, if you work really hard in school, you can get scholarships. And if you're here, it's because you're working really hard in school, and getting A's is important because that will get you scholarships. And B, even if you're not able to get scholarships, there's State University of New York. And one of the things I ran on my campaign for is merit-based scholarships for New York City. So if you can't afford to go away to school, you can go to City University of New York, and if you have high grades, you can go to a CUNY school, and we will give you a grant. We'll give you a couple $100s for it. And so the City Council just passed that, and that's brand new. And City College has lots of grant opportunities, so you can actually go graduate with a CUNY degree for free. And then you can literally do whatever you want with it.
Any other questions?
Hi, my name is Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
My question is what would you have wanted to know at our age? Something that if I could do right now, what is something you wanted to know?
Don't be afraid to work hard. Don't be afraid to put everything you've got into something. And don't be afraid to fail after you've put 100% of yourself in. Sometimes it's really scary if you fully commit and you're all in and you still fail. The best part about failure is you learn from it. And so you have such great power to do whatever you want, create whatever you want, especially with software code. So just take every opportunity and believe in yourself. And failure is a part of life. It's how you learn. My favorite part of coding is debugging. It sounds weird, but it's this very instant gratification that you can't get anywhere else in life, because you're literally able to build something that you thought out of your head, make it creative, and along the way, when problems happen, you get to fix them. And there's nothing better than spending 8 hours hitting your head against the wall trying to fix a bug in the program, and then fixing it, and then telling all your friends that you don't have to deal with this from scratch, but there's these brackets in most languages, or parentheses, and you'll leave one out, or you'll leave a comma out, or a semicolon, and you'll spend 8 hours trying to track it down, and then you'll find it, and then you'll just laugh, and your friends will laugh with you. And so there's this instant gratification you don't get anywhere else, because you think of something you created and then you get to debug it. So don't be afraid to fail, go all in, and just be courageous, because it's tough, it's scary. And Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. When he created Facebook, the website everybody used, has anyone ever heard of MySpace? So MySpace was the social network. Nobody was going to beat it. It was worth $5 billion, and then Mark Zuckerberg, in his dorm room, created Facebook. And now, is anyone on MySpace? Anyone on Facebook? There you go.
Any last questions? I know you all have to get back to work, but I actually think there's a relevant question here. So we have some students here who are interested in pursuing a career in service and politics. What advice would you have for someone who's interested in a political career?
Sure. That's a different set of advice. Everything you do is public. whether you like it or
Good
not.
advice.
And so right now, as I'm speaking, there's people taking pictures. You may think something on Vine or Instagram is really funny. Sometimes it's an inappropriate joke. Sometimes it's something suggestive. Sometimes you decide you're going to put your nickname on. But now, everyone looks at Facebook. The first thing they do when somebody applies for a job or runs for office is they type their name into Google. And everything's on Google. So you take a picture of your friends acting silly, or somebody brings a cigarette to school and they shouldn't have it and they shouldn't be smoking, and somebody's posing with it like Barack Obama did when he was in college, and that comes out. So the first thing is be very protective of your digital identity and your real identity. So that's very important because that will make sure that you can do what you want. It also means make smart choices. When you see a bunch of friends doing something foolish, tell them not to do something foolish, and if they want to do it anyway, say like, listen, you guys go do that, that's a bad choice, that's a poor choice. I'm going to go do what I need to because I have a future. And what you will see sometimes, more often than not, it'll surprise you, is those people, and this all comes back to courage, but those people will say, you know what, do I really want to do this? And they'll stop it too. And if it was something foolish that was going to hurt somebody else, that person will be eternally grateful to you. So that's number 2. Number 3, develop a skill set. Figure out how you want to make the world a better place. There's lawyers who are politicians. There's the software developer who's a politician. There's people who work their way up from being a nurse to be a politician. It just means follow your career. The secret to life is you can get paid to do something you would normally do for free. Believe it or not, you don't have to work a day of their life. I work for you, but I don't consider this work. I'd be doing this for free. I get paid to help people. It's incredible. So figure out what you really want to do that, be a part of your community. If you have an opportunity to be part of something like Breakthrough New York, like Kunal, just come and be a part of it. Organize, speak up, speak out, and the rest will follow.
Thank you so much.
You know?